form as bilingualism with purpose. And you're familiar with the template. This is what we used throughout the workshop. Katie, I'm going to have to very quickly get my
okay.
computer. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I'll just, as you're bubbling, I'll talk about this slide. So yeah, we are going to go over all of the templates that you created in the workshop. Remember, you filled that out at your tables. We came up with a lot of good ideas, but now it's time to put all of those ideas into an organized, thoughtful unit of Bending Bamboo. So that's going to be the main focus of these forums. Each Friday, we're going to go into at least 25 to 30 minutes of breakout rooms where you as a group will go through all of the template ideas we created, for example, Unit 10, and then you will say, this is the best idea, I think, in your group, and then you will create other materials to put into that lesson so that we can then take all of your now organized ideas and put it into an actual unit like we did with Unit 6.
And I just got my computer plugged in again. Thanks, Katie.
Mm-hmm.
That was a scare. Yeah, so everybody's prompt response to Katie's assignments on submitting materials, that is absolutely essential. We need your input on the right materials, the right questions. If you've got excellent photographs of the topics that we're talking about across these 10 topics, that input is so important. It helps us ensure a communicative approach, great lesson plans that are about sustainability and resilience, and for and by and of the people of Gunta. So again, you're familiar with what we were talking about during the workshop on Stephen Krashen and Daniel Taylor. And what we want to emphasize, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because we spent 10 days in a workshop on this, but we're about learning language acquisition, not just studying languages. And we're doing it in a natural order way. And I've got one slide for each of these points, but the natural order again is to say that there isn't a structure by which you learn English or any foreign language. It unfolds naturally, and we do that with the context and the content of Gunta. We're going to do it in a comprehensive input manner, which takes what the student already knows, that's the little letter I, and adds one more thing. So the engaging, comprehensible, interesting material always adds one piece to what the students already know. We also have to take into account the filter that the students have. They're distracted by many things. You're distracted by many things. And we have to get past that filter, get past those barriers of people applying their language learning in the current context, which is the development of the Mekong Delta. And then the last thing is that Stephen Krashen taught us, and that we spent time on every day of the workshop, was his reading hypothesis. We'll use stories, and we will introduce people to more stories and good literature. Because Krashen's argument is, if you can get your student to an intermediate level of reading, then they will be absolutely fluent in their second language. The 4 points from Daniel Taylor that we talked about during the workshop are that we're going to build on the success that we accomplish step by step. And we accomplish success even as Gunta accomplishes different successes. So our curriculum is based on success. We're going to rely on data, and that data helps us discern what we should be teaching, how we should be collecting good material, how we should be pulling together, that is synthesizing all the material and analyzing it for the curriculum that we're writing. What partnerships do we need to cultivate, that is build and nurture and love. The teachers, you guys, you are the actors in the middle of these partnerships. And we are always open step by step to making small improvements, iterative improvements. Those are the tasks, those are the norms that we include in every single lesson plan. So to Krashen's point, we want it to be both comprehensible and interesting material for the students based on what is happening in Ganta, in the Mekong Delta. We're not going to spend a lot of time on grammar. As Liz's diagram from the workshop reminds us, that big outer blue ring, that's the grammar of English language. And then the green is what PhDs in linguistics might know. And the orange is what professors at the university might know about English grammar. The purple is what teachers, such as yourselves, might know about English grammar. And that little small blue ball is the amount of grammar that our students actually learn and retain. So the natural approach is going to get the students to engage in a communicative way with the language and the development material. And grammar will be learned in a natural order way, not as the object of any lesson.
Dan, which slide are you talking about? Is there supposed to be circles on the slide?
There is.
Is anybody else seeing circles, or are you seeing the template? Yee, what do you see on your screen?
I'm gonna stop sharing and come back to you. I've been going through a 6-slide PowerPoint, and you didn't see any of that?
Did you guys see anything more than the template?
No.
No.
Not only
Really?
Yeah.
Let me try sharing again. Possibly it was messed up as I put my computer cord back in. You see this guy?
Now, yeah, yes. Now we see speech bubbles.
Oh boy, I'm so sorry. So let me just show you what I was talking about so you don't think I'm crazy. I was reviewing Krashen and Taylor. We talked about them in the workshop. The point here to stress is that we want comprehensible and interesting input, that we're not going to spend too much time on grammar, because it's really that small ball of grammar in the middle of this diagram that is the amount that our students will retain. We want this to be natural order, communicative approach. And this is a slide that Liz had during the workshop on the effective filter. Students have so many things in mind as they're trying to learn. So if we can get them out of this classroom focus that I'm studying language, if we can get them beyond that and get them immersed instead in using their language with one another, then there will be fewer effective filters like these bubbles that you see. And the last thing that Krashen said is get the students to an intermediate point of reading. And we will do that with stories that are appropriate for high school and university students. That's the stage 1. Stage 2 is we introduce them online and to the library at Nam Ganta. They can self-select their reading. And stage 3, once we get them to an intermediate level of reading, they are on their way to being fluent. Okay, and Krashen shared at a workshop that Liz was at. School is where you find out what interests you, develop those interests, discover your talents, give them away, not giving them away, give them away and understand why you want to give those things away. That's where your reading comes in. And here are just some of the good books, some of the good literature that we worked with during the workshop. When we left the workshop, the proposal at that point was that we focus really on receptive and productive skills. Linguistically, receptive are the listening and reading skills. And the productive skills is where we speak and write, where we start using actively, productively, the language skills. Also, we can think of this in terms of development. Receptive skills are our learning best sustainable development goal practices, SDG practices. But productive is where we take our bilingualism and we apply it. And that's why every chapter will have tasks and norms. In terms of development, remember that exercise of inclusivity. Katie had you run around the room and you really focused on linguistics and rural But what we need to incorporate in our thinking is something that's both for the urban and the rural student, something that is both about language acquisition and science, people learning how to do development. So that's what we call bilingual with purpose. And one of the things that Liz and I are going to be working on with these 7 master students is to create bilingual families. What does it mean to be a bilingual family in the Mekong Delta, to grow the future of the Delta? All right, here is a review of what Katie sent you by email. It's the list of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. This is the banner that we had on the wall. And this was a slide that I took from the workshop time. Keep in mind for today's breakout sessions, these 17 goals, and I'm going to keep repeating them so you don't have to write them down right now. Katie gave you a handout with the 17, and you probably have them printed out from the workshop. And this is a grid of the 30 topics that are covered at grades 10, 11, and 12, chapters 1 to 10 in the Tingan units. We've been focused, of course, on that middle group, grade 11, and we've suggested some slight changes to the language for each of those 10 levels. We did not get to unit 10, we only got to unit 9. But what we need to do today, and what you're going to be doing in your breakout room, and what you're going to be doing as your assignment, is determining with us the 10 topics that we will address in Bending Bamboo. And then we will make some clear alignment, some clear map that these 10 topics are good for grades 10 or grade 11 or grade 12 in this unit. There will be one very clear matrix, one very clear map of how our Bending Bamboo topics relate to units in grades 10, 11, and 12. So let's just run down the middle column. Bridging gaps, bridging the generation gap. Relationships generally. We talked about independence, dependence, and interdependence, inclusivity. Unit 4 was what we talked about back in March, being differently able. 5, learning and leading in ASEAN. Climate change, quality education for all, not just 1% or 10%, but for everyone. World heritage and biodiversity, sustainable and resilient cities, and living well with purpose. So now I've put those things beside the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals, which you see on the right. How can we begin to identify 10 inclusive topics that cover all of this? This is what the ministry, this is what Moet and Doet are expecting us to be able to do. Then the second question that we have, and then I'll turn it back to Katie, is what ideas do you have for the text layout for 8 periods worth of teaching? So we know that for your teaching, the government gives you 8 periods to cover a unit of Tingan. What could we actually get done in 8 periods? So on the left, this is a summary of the model that we introduced and critiqued at the workshop. Those are all things that Liz had in each chapter, and what we worked on with the unit on climate change, unit 6. But moving forward, we're asking you, what do you want the layout to be? What improvements, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, what improvements do you have in mind for how we lay out and write this curriculum? Okay, this is a lot to have on your plate. This was introduced by email by Katie. This is something that we will continue working on this week and next week, and we will get better at it week after week after week.
All right, ready for me to jump in?
It's back to you.
Perfect. Okay, so let me Let me share my screen. So we're going to go into breakout rooms. Where am I? Too many things on my screen. All right, do you see the breakout room instructions? Give me a yes. Okay, great.
Yes.
So I'm gonna post this link to this document in the chat. And this is what you're going to discuss in the breakout rooms. Each breakout room has one of our program assistants. My program assistants, if you could facilitate all of this, make sure you have a note taker and a reporter, okay? And that note taker needs to send me their notes at the end of the forum. Maybe when we log off, probably when we log off. And make sure when you send me your notes that you have every one of your group members' names on there. My program associate or assistant facilitators, can you also get the numbers, the phone numbers of everybody in your group, and also send those to me? And like you said, we will create a Facebook or a messenger group, something like that, so we can all be updated after the forum. But anyways, let me stop this screen share. And then in the chat, you have the link to that file. Okay, and now I'm going to send you into breakout rooms, and you can begin discussing. Again, you have 30 minutes. All right.
Do two things. Give us 10 topics and let us know what changes you want to the layout of the chapter.
Yep.
Zui had a question there, Katie.
Yeah, Zui, go ahead.
Or why don't we use with the note taker and the reporter is the only one person? So because when you listen and you take note, and then it is easier to report. I think that's one.
Okay. I like that change. I agree. Okay, so note taker and reporter is the same person now. All right, everybody got that? All right, you should see an invitation to go into the room. Click join breakout room. Perfect. Oh, sorry. Cam Tien, I'm sorry, I'll put you in a breakout room. There you go. Cam Tien, do you see your invitation to join breakout?
I think she's frozen.
Yeah. Cam Tien, maybe turn your video off if you think you have bad internet.
And I'm seeing two other people who are still with us.
Yeah, and I don't know why they're not, it won't allow me to assign them. It's Mao and her friend, and they keep having internet troubles. Okay, there goes Cam Tien. Mao, can you unmute? No.
Okay.
See if I can assign. This is really weird. I don't know why I can't assign them.
Katie, when I study from some period, some lesson from future generation, so I cannot join the group.
You can't join the Zoom group
Yes.
in future generations?
Yes.
Or maybe
Two times.
Sometimes.
Yes. I don't know why.
Or does she mean the breakout room?
No, it's not the breakout. I can't even invite her there. So you're having problems with Zoom, sounds like. Is your internet weak? Can you hear my voice clearly?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay. Does your internet ever go on and off?
No, very strong.
Yeah. Maybe it's your computer. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what it could be. But hey, let me try and put you in a breakout room really quick. I'm not sure why it's not allowing me to do that. Julian, can you hear me? Twilin, sorry.
She said that she doesn't listen, just
She
watch
can't
the
hear.
video.
She can't hear.
Yes.
Okay.
I saw her clip audio, computer audio.
Yeah, so her audio is on. I see that she has her microphone on. So let's see. Twilin, if you click on, there's a little arrow next to your microphone in the bottom left of your Zoom screen. Okay, 1 second. Boom. Why are you here? Why are you not in your breakout room? Okay, boom. I put you back. There we go. Okay. Sorry, breakout rooms. Okay. Mao.
Yes.
So I think it's Twilin. I can hear something in the background. I think that's Twilin.
You hear something? Hear the sound from Lin?
I think so, because you have a microphone. So it's not you. It should be her. Twilin, can you say hello? Can you say something, Twilin?
So I will call her.
Yeah, because I hear something. I think it's her background.
Linh ơi, KT đang
Yellow. Good.
Hi, Kathy. She said that she cannot hear you.
She can't hear me.
Yes. So I take the picture from our screen to send her.
Yeah. So
next time with her.
Boom, what are you doing here? Hi, Boom.
Hi, Kathy.
Why did you come back to the big group?
I lose the internet.
Oh, Okay, let me put you back in, okay? Is your internet slow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cut off your video.
Yeah.
Well,
keep
just
your
use
video-
your audio tonight. Don't use any video.
Yeah, don't put your video on, but let me put you back in your group. There you go. Mao, do you have a TV on in the background? Oh, it's definitely not. All right. T Tui, I'm going to message you. Or sorry, Tui Lin, I'm going to message the group. I'm going to, yeah, I'll message the whole group. Okay.
Kathy, I think there is some error with the Zoom.
I don't think it's the Zoom. I think it's, she might not have clicked the right button.
I talk about my situation because I attended class with some professor from future generation, so I cannot join the breakout room.
Okay, 1 second. Tui Lin, can you respond to my chat?
Katie, I don't see those two options with the arrow next to my little microphone.
That's weird. He does.
I'm checked on Tech High Def Audio, and I'm checked on Speaker HP Realtek High Definition Audio.
So that's
My other option is same
as system.
as
Yeah,
system.
so it's already pre-selected your input, your built-in input and output. So it's essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so she, 1 second, she's messaging.
Not bad. Troubleshooting with just one town out of all the locations, but still frustrating. They come back to us at what time?
55.
Okay. So after we hear their thoughts on the topics, I think I'll go back to the screen share of the slide that shows how the text was laid out for Unit 6. And the right side of that is blank for them to give us their improvements, but the left side of that slide are all the elements that Liz had in that text.
You don't want them to share? We're not going to do the report back?
Yeah. So I think the first part of the report could be on the 10 topics. And then when we do the second part of the report, which is how to lay out the text, I'm just suggesting putting up one slide that has all the elements of each unit. So they can say, take that one out, or more of that one, or it's just a reminder.
Okay.
The text.
Yeah, after we report, I think then you can say, okay, you've said we should take this out. What else? Blah, blah, blah. You know, like let's get their opinion first.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying, Katie. I'm just suggesting that we
I agree.
say, here are all the elements in that. What do you not want?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to steer them towards an answer.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry about 2. Have you heard anything further? She sent one email that she was feeling sick and asked to miss Wednesday's class.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything else. She must be really sick because she gave really no explanation, so I'm assuming she's definitely out and down.
I'll write to her after class.
Yeah.
Five more minutes. Do you want to, I'll let you facilitate the response once we go back. I'll take notes.
Yeah, I'm just going to have each reporter raise their virtual hand, and then I'll call on them in order of what I see on my chat.
Okay.
Mao, I didn't see your critiques of Unit 6. Could you send those to me?
Unit 6, grade 10 or 11.
Grade 11, the bending bamboo prototype. I sent you in the email to send me 3 critiques.
This week or last week?
I sent it, that email was sent this week.
Okay, I will, after this forum, I will send it to you.
Great. I feel bad because you're not in a breakout room. So, but I still want your opinion because you're important.
Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you.
She's in her own breakout room.
Yeah.
All by herself.
There's like 3 people in her head talking about it.
Thank you. Katie, this year, my school gave me this grade 10, very excellent class, so you can do global classroom very effectively.
Okay.
Very excellent.
Yeah.
Well, we have 3 minutes before people come back from the breakout room, so this is a good chance to chat with you. Zui came on before you, and he was saying that he has included in his submission to DOIT that they will use a global classroom, and he is thinking that permission will be given by the beginning of October, and then we need by the middle of October to have a very clear plan for how many minutes, what day of the week, what subject matter, what materials. For this to work, we're going to have to always be a couple of weeks ahead of the students, what we're going to do in class. Just like this morning, we've got a technology glitch. Before we do the global classroom, you and Tui Lin and Katie are going to have an equipment check on your university to make sure there is no technology glitch. There can't be.
Now
we're given one chance to be perfect.
Mao, what time do you teach, which days and what time do you teach the excellent class?
So they open Gen quickly, Katie.
Okay.
weekly.
Every day of the week?
So yes, they change. Each week they change the schedule for the whole school.
Weird.
So if you make a plan, I can ask another teacher to change our plans. So
Okay.
there is negotiation.
Can you figure out with Zui and with Tu one time that works for all three of you?
Yes.
I'm thinking though, Dan, because hers is a public school class, so it would be held during regular school hours, not like nighttime hours, which is what Yui and Tu are most likely, unless we do it on a...
But Zui is making the application for his public school time.
Okay, then Tu, have to see, it would have to be on a Saturday. No, because all students are in class on a Saturday. So it's just difficult because they're talking public school and she's private center.
Does she have no classes that are during the day?
No.
They're all at night?
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Here I thought she worked 24 hours a day.
She does, but she only manages classes at the nighttime.
All right, so we might have two different global classroom times.
Yeah.
Or we might be running two different things, one with Zui at the school and one with Zui at his center.
That could be a possibility as well.
And Mao, you have both work that you do at a center and at school, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I'm going to cut us off and bring everybody back.
Okay. Hi, Quinn.
Hi, Dan. How are you?
I'm good. Do you have your audio? Does it work? Do you have a good connection?
Yeah, well, it's a little bit unstable. Sometimes I couldn't hear my partner's voice very clearly in the breakout section.
If it's unstable, then I will do without your face. But hello to your family.
Thank you, Dan.
Must be a good conversation. Everybody's staying till the last second.
Well, I hit the return to the main section by accident.
Yeah. You have two options. You can return. Oh, I love all of this sound I'm hearing.
Hey, Katie, do you
Yeah.
give a 30 minutes?
I did.
It's a short.
It was a short 30 minutes.
Oh, wait.
Are you cheating?
I think I gave you 20 minutes.
You know that in my lesson, I have a warm-up activity is 15 minutes. So in my group, I just pass a warm-up activity.
Did you guys address both questions or do you need more time?
Now Ruth knows exactly the content of the three levels of this book because none of us taught this book.
Did you guys need more time?
Our group has finished watching one. That means
Okay. I'm going to throw you back because I made a mistake and I brought you back too early. Just a simple mistake. So I'm going to put you back in breakout rooms. Okay?
Answer question 2.
Answer question 2.
5 minutes.
Go back. 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Time.
See you back 10 minutes.
Go back to work. There they go. Julian, Campion, boom. Boom, Campion. Go back to work.
Hi, Katie. Lynn said that she heard the sound. So you can talk with her.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Hold on. Let me handle Bong and Campion. Bong, Campion, can you click join breakout room, please. Vung. There we go. Perfect. Champion. There she goes. Okay.
There she goes.
Let me message them. So we're gonna come back in 6 minutes.
6. Give them 10.
Mhm.
Good.
Okay, Mal, what's up?
Okay. Send
Okay,
Campion back.
Kathy,
She's got a weak connection.
Kathy,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's up?
the news book, if the teacher doesn't experience in class, they have difficulty to give the idea.
Difficult to use the bending bamboo idea?
No, to give the ideas through the books.
In the bending bamboo books?
The tiếng Anh book.
Oh, if they don't teach Tingan in class, they don't exactly know what they're
Yes.
talking about, you're saying?
So let me text Mao on that question while you work with Campion. Okay?
Yeah, Mao, look at your chat box. Campion.
No, I will chat you on that question.
Okay.
Campion. Campion, can you click join breakout room somewhere on your screen? Hmm. Is there a place that says rejoin breakout room or join breakout room? The connection. Okay, so turn your video off first. We'll make your connection better. And then somewhere on your screen, does it say join breakout room? There she goes. All right, now to Tweelin. Hi, Tweelin. So you can hear me, but I can't hear you. Can you message me in the chat box if you can hear me? Or Tweelin, do you have headphones with a microphone?
Hi, Kathy. She said that she just hears you up and down, not clearly.
Okay, I think her internet, there's something either wrong with her internet or her computer.
Maybe
Tweelin.
we will get the next time.
Yeah, Tweelin, turn off your video. I know I can't see you, but yeah, so turn off your video.
And Mao, I've sent you a couple of chats.
Okay, now Tweelin, I want you to find headphones with a microphone. Headphones, for example, that you would use when you're calling somebody on the cell phone. No video, Tweelin. So Dan, we're gonna come back in like 4 minutes, and there's 4 breakout rooms. So it'll be about 12 minutes of sharing.
Yeah, and my hunch is we'll probably get through just the topics, which is quite a bit. The layout is, as I was writing that up yesterday afternoon after you left, it's more complicated than I remembered. And we need to make it elegant, make sure it's doable within 8 periods.
Yeah, and I had some responses back already, critiques, and I put those on the Google Drive, and hopefully we'll get more.
Good, that's all really helpful. We'll have a ton to work with before our next class.
Yeah.
And I'm getting some responses from Mao on her question.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Tweelin, I see your face, but I can't hear you. I can't. Weird. That's so weird. You plugged in. Okay, click, Tweelin, click on the small arrow next to your microphone and make sure you have, maybe let's go to audio settings. There's a little arrow next to your microphone on your Zoom screen. And then make sure you are clicking headphones for microphone. Click headphones for microphone. Something. Hi. Can you say something? Tweelin, I think I can hear you. Yeah. Hi. Hey. Welcome.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations. We did it. Hello? Yep. Hi. Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You can take the microphone a little bit away. You don't have to speak so loud. We fixed it. How are you?
Yeah, I'm 33 years old.
You're what?
33 years old.
Okay, so
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's a little hard to understand. It sounds fuzzy.
I'm 33 years old. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Linh ơi, Katie hỏi how are you? How are you? Not how are you?
So,
can you hear me?
Your microphone works. Your headphones work, but I think the speaker on your microphone is almost broken. So next week we'll have to find you new headphones, or you're going to have to meet with me. I need to meet with you next week. But right now, Tweelin, I'm going to turn off your audio and have everybody come back to the group. All right. I think this is a KPI, Dan.
Yeah, it is. A couple of things. Equipment check and troubleshooting before class time, because one person can consume 90% of your brain power.
Yep. Always and forever.
But this is a lot less than before. So that's a good KPI. And people stay until the last second. And the next KPI is going to be how robust the suggestions are on topics.
Maybe they just became friends in the group. We don't know. Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
What is Miss Hugh laughing about? I don't get it.
Okay, so I want to use our time efficiently. Everybody, make sure you mute your microphone. Now, I want all of the reporters from the group to raise your virtual hand. My reporters, raise your virtual hand. Remember your virtual hand. You have to go to your name in participants and click raise hand. Oh, see Dan, you see Dan's hand? Oh, now it's gone. Yeah, and click your hand again. Okay. So I need there's Anne, okay. Who are my other reporters? Hello. Let's see. So Yin, whose group? Yui, who was your reporter? Yin, who was your reporter?
Miss Lam.
Okay.
Miss Hill is my reporter.
Great. Okay, and then we should have one more.
It's me.
Okay, Kim Tan.
Yeah.
We'll work on the virtual hand. Okay, so I'm going to start with Anne. Just give us your responses to question number 1. Okay?
Okay. Thank you for letting me talk. So we're gonna have we're gonna put all the topics in grade 10, 11, and 12 into bigger 10 topics. Which is number 1, identity. Do I need to list out the smaller topics? Okay.
No, just your big ones.
Okay, so number 1, identity.
Although
number 2,
send Katie those subtopics.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll send me your list.
Give us the big ones.
Okay. Number 2, multimedia and entertainment.
Great.
Number 3, culture. Number 4, education. 5, innovation. 6, environment. 7, social development. And then we have gender equality, economic growth, and the last one, food security.
Hey, wonderful. Was it difficult to come up with those 10 topics?
Not really.
Good. So we see some kind of alignment between, which is what we wanted.
Yeah. You know, I myself especially like the last one, food security, because it goes through all the SDG goals.
Yeah, you can just write the topic for us.
It's my job though.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Anne.
Okay.
Now I'm going to go to Miss Lam. Can you give me your responses to question 1? Miss Lam. Lam ơi. Lam, make sure you unmute.
Sorry.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah, we discussed about the
like we look at the sustainable development goals first, and we recognize that there are some goals that didn't mention in the topic from rate 10 to rate 12, like number 6, number 7, number 8, and number 16. How about the other goal? We can group into 8 groups. Now the first one, number 3, good health and well-being. For rate 10, we have the unit family life. It's family. Sorry, your body and you. Rate 10, and rate 11, we have healthy lifestyle and longevity.
Okay. So you said you have a big topic of good health and well-being.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And and the next, the goal number 1 and 2, no poverty and zero hunger.
Okay.
And number 4, with the goal number 4, quality education. We also have some unit like rate 11, new ways to learn, rate 10, new ways to learn, rate 11, further education, and rate 12, lifelong learning. And with the goal 17, partnership for the goal, we also have 3 lessons. Cultural diversity, rate 10, being part of Asian, rate 11, and cultural identity, rate 12.
Okay.
And the next is number 9, innovation and infrastructure. We have invention, rate 10, city of the future, rate 11, artificial intelligence, rate 12. And and we group number 14 and number 15 into 1, life below water and life on land.
Okay.
But only two units, preserving the environment from rate 10 and endangered species from rate 12. In grade 11, we don't have the lesson on this.
Okay.
And the next, number 13, take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact. We have rate 10, the unit ecotourism, rate 11, global warming, and rate 12, the green movement.
Great.
And the last one, number 10, reduce inequalities. We have 2 units about it, gender equality, rate 10, and the work of work, rate 12.
Right.
No lesson in rate 11. I think it's rate 11. We have the unit relationship, but you doesn't agree with me, so we cross out it.
Okay. All right. Is that it?
Yeah. So only a main topic, not 10. We cannot.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you for that. And again, send us your notes.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go to Ms. Hugh, and I'm actually going to ask you to answer the second question. Can you answer question 2? Ms. Hugh.
Katie, don't we want all the 10 topics?
I think we can get, because we're going to get their notes anyways, but as a group we can start to discuss both questions. Ms. Hugh, could you summarize your discussion on question 2?
It's me, Katie?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. I want to we discuss something about the disclosure. And this afternoon, I asked my daughter to talk to tell me something about this course and this folder, and she asked me, she told me something, and I summarized. And the first one, she thinks that this form is good, and some advantages that she can get from this folder. First, she like the color. She thinks this is good at color. It look fashionable for her teenager. My daughter is in grade 11 now, so she like this. And besides, she thinks that some of the photos or the pictures in these folders is really good and very interesting to have them. It's suitable in Vietnamese situation and culture. Besides, she thinks that some work and some plans, some exercise given them enough to take note. And she loved this. And the structure or some structure in this is really easy. It is easy to understand. She said that it's easier to understand than the ones in her last. And but she thinks that there's something not good from she can get from the first one. She thinks that bending bamboo, but there's much about bamboo. She suggests that we should add a slogan for bending bamboo. Okay. What's about the cover? The pictures on the cover. She's saying that it's great. Should choose the main topic of the whole book to choose an interesting or attractive picture to show on, to lead the student to focus on the main, to make students feel interesting, be curious to run through the book. Second, some work, and that is Trio, that is native Vietnamese language. The true forms, for example, hiếu, you must use a dấu sắc. Do you know, Katie? Yes, not hiếu, but you hiếu from exactly from in Vietnamese. You think that is a Vietnamese language, not an English one. So just keep the same, the exactly form of Vietnamese if you use Vietnamese. Yeah, my daughter said that. And I think she's in grade 11 now. I think her opinion is good.
I like that. That's very good. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to end you there, but thank you for those really good thoughts. Now my final reporter is Kim Tan. Can you summarize your discussion of question 2, specifically your critiques or what you think the structure should be? Kim Tan.
Yeah, to be honest, my group hasn't finished about this question, but when I compare this book and my book that we use in the high school, I think that book is easy to follow. But there is a problem that this book, we combine a lot of skills. We focus on 4 skills: listening, writing, speaking, and reading. So I think there are a lot of activities and we don't have enough time to follow. And one more thing, that in our school, we just focus on reading and grammar. So try to help them to pass the exam. This is our purpose. And when you see that when we focus a lot about speaking and listening, a student can speak fluently, but about grammar, more complicated grammar, they can't understand, they can't explain why. Maybe sometimes they can use it, but complicated grammar, they don't understand. They can't use the grammars we use in this book to help them to apply in the test.
Okay, great. So you think we need to add, do you think it would be helpful to add a grammar section?
Yes, I think so. Okay. And some activities in the book, you know, the facility in my class and my students' interest doesn't meet together. So sometimes it's hard to apply these activities in my class.
Okay. And when you send me your notes for your discussion, give me more explanation of why your students' interest in your facilities don't match with this book. Okay. Thank you. All right, Dan, that's all of our speakers. Thank you so much. I think this was a really productive breakout group session. Dan, I'll throw it back to you.
So thanks to everybody. Very important that the recorders send to Katie the notes from your group answering both question 1 and question 2. This is a major, major decision for all of us to make. And we don't want to make a decision on the topics or the layout lightly. So we're going to keep refining this for another week or two to make sure that we are in agreement before literally hundreds, if not thousands of hours are spent creating teacher texts. So while I appreciate each comment from a reporter, we need to make our decisions based on data. And data is going to be the input, the information from all of you, right? So it was excellent, for instance, to hear, Hugh, what your daughter thinks. It would be better data to know what 10 daughters think. We cannot operate on anecdote. We can't operate on a hunch. We need real evidence as to why we would pick these 10 topics, not other topics, how those topics relate both to what the DOIT and MOIT require and what the SDGs cover. That's going to be the easier one because there is already a lot of overlap between the SDGs, DOIT, and MOIT. But we need to hear a full response from each group. The layout is a bit harder. And there are a lot of restraints that we have. We are working with the presumption that it would be material that you would cover not to replace Ting An. We don't replace Ting An, we augment Ting An.
Also, Dan, can I make a note? It's not replacing just Ting An, and it's augmenting, sorry, it's not augmenting just Ting An, it's augmenting all of your textbooks that you use, because I know some of you don't use Ting An,
right.
But we can augment with this Bending Bamboo text many textbooks.
Right, exactly. And that's why we're trying to pick the topics that come from the SDGs. And Ting An is based on what MOIT has approved as related to the SDGs. Okay. So to Kim Tang's suggestions, those are helpful, but we need data, not anecdote. Big difference between the two. Since we're augmenting whatever text the school is using, your school or your center will always have the grammar book there to use. They will have the grammar. We are trying to teach grammar in the natural order way, which is language acquisition, not the study of grammar. So if a school, for instance, and this probably could be our subject to begin next week with, if a school requires that everybody really focus on grammar and reading to pass the exam, then we need to figure out how much time do you spend using your existing text to focus on reading and grammar, and how much time do you spend focusing on Ganta and the context and the content and the challenges of the development of Ganta, using the pictures and the science and the stories that come out of your own culture, not someone else's. It will be a balance. Liz often makes this point in the workshops. She wants you to be not only competent in your mastery of English, your bilingualism, she wants you to be confident as a professional, to be the master of the books that you're using, to be the master of the materials. So you'll find the balance on your school campus of using the existing text and using Bending Bamboo, or using a traditional classroom and using a global classroom. Katie, that wasn't a virtual hand, but did you want to say something?
Yeah, I think a note to that confidence aspect, I was reviewing all of the data from our March workshop surveys to our July workshop surveys. And for those teachers who were in both workshops and who did the forum as well, they noted that they were much more confident integrating context into their classes. So Kim Tan, I know this was your first workshop and it's always going to be a challenge to integrate communicative learning into your classroom. But if you really, our data is showing that if you really engage with the Bending Bamboo training process, you will be more confident and willing to integrate communicative learning and contextual learning into your classroom. So these are all really good notes, and keep being critical throughout this process because that will make you a better teacher.
Okay, thanks. That's a terrific thing to underscore. Oh, Katie, for next week, they are to be sending you before next Friday their critique of Unit 1. Is that correct?
Not critique of Unit 1, because we don't have a unit. We need to synthesize all of the things in the template.
Okay, so here's a modification of what's up there on the Google Drive. Before Friday's class, we always want you sending Katie your critique of the topic that we're going to be discussing that week. So what Katie and I need to do is get to you by Monday or Tuesday the 10 topics that seem to align with what all of the groups are saying. So we have data from the workshop, and now we have data from today. If you have anything further to send Katie, get it to her right away. Then what we are going to do is we're going to identify the first of those topics that will be the subject of next Friday's forum. And every Friday we need to move to another topic. We need to really stay on time if we're to complete a prototype of a complete teacher text for grades 10, 11, 12 by the end of December. It's a very fast pace, but we have the personnel, we have you, we have your ideas, we have your content. Let's see if we can get this done by December. I want to finish a draft actually by the end of November so that we have all of December to edit and to make improvements before we put it into final layout and show it to others like Goet for their critique. Okay? I think that's it. We're 2 minutes over. Time for you all to go to bed and time for me to get my son to university and begin my workday.
Everybody, can you turn on your videos and say goodbye to me and each other?
And me, yeah.
And Dan too.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for joining us. Have a great day. A good night.
See you.
Bye.